This week, the big story concerned the blundering, blustering ball of...
bullshit.
That is...
bullshit.
OK.
Bullshit.
That is Boris Johnson. Siobhan Rutledge said, is it OK that Boris Johnson this week said that women who wear burkas look like letterboxes? Now, in Boris Johnson's Telegraph column, he said that he didn't think we should ban the burqa, as has happened in Denmark, but he did compare people who wear a burqa to letterboxes and bank robbers. Let's talk about what a burqa actually is. And if you're worried that three white men may say something offensive at this point, don't panic. So are we. So what we're going to do, to show how awkward we're feeling about this as we go along, we're going to use a sphincterometer to measure how awkward we're feeling. Let's have a look at it right now. There we go. It's like the Channel Tunnel. That's how relaxed we are right now. We're absolutely fine.
Just two things. Number one,
yep.
I'm so glad that's what the sphincterometer turned out to be. Because I was worried that we were going to have a very awkward camera angle from under your desk. Number two, Adam, if it is as relaxed as the Channel Tunnel, you need to see a doctor.
All right.
Because that's not healthy.
Someone's trying to stow away in there. OK, right, back to the serious bit. OK, so this is a burqa. It's a full face and body veil with mesh across the eyes. This is a niqab. It's the full-face veil we probably see the most in the streets. This is a chador, and this is a hijab.
And, of course, Boris, if you are watching, there is a very easy way to tell the difference. The burqa is an item of clothing worn by a human being, and the other is a postbox, you fucking idiot.
Let's check in with our sphincterometer and see where we're at the moment. We've moved... I mean, a bit more tense. We've moved up to hose pipe, but we're still doing...
Oh, thank God that's what that is.
I'm glad you've clarified that as a hose pipe.
That's not a sphincterometer, Adam.
I mean, that is also another reason to see a doctor. Some Muslim...
Sorry, I didn't think I'd be laughing this much in this bit.
All right. Here's the thing. Some Muslims do believe that the burqa is oppressive, but what interested me during the week is reading that a lot of women say they wear it out of choice and that they feel it brings them closer to God. And I'd never really considered that before, and I know everyone's got a different opinion on it, but as far as I'm concerned, if you want to do something that you feel brings you closer to your God and it doesn't hurt anyone, absolutely go for it. If that means wearing a veil or a big black hat or growing a beard or not cutting your hair, if that's what reminds you to be a better person, knock yourself out. I mean, we celebrate the death of our Lord by hiding chocolate eggs around the garden. Every religion looks strange to the people outside of it. Surely it's more important to be a good person, regardless of what you're wearing. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I get on a train tomorrow, I'd much rather sit next to a good person in a burqa than a prick in a suit. The question we're asking is, should Boris have compared people who wear burqas to letterboxes and bank robbers?
I'm going to say no. One of my big life rules is you're always on shaky territory when you compare people to inanimate objects and criminals.
Excellent rule.
Yeah.
Excellent rule.
Do you know, like, a lot of people have told Boris to apologise?
Yeah.
I've got an issue. Theresa May has told Boris to apologise, as if she's only just realised that he's, like, an offensive twat, right? He's been this guy for, like, 10 years. She made him Foreign Secretary for 2 years, right? Didn't even sack him. He resigned, and she's going, this guy's a bit of a wrong one, isn't he? She should be apologising as well.
Well, I'm going to say... exactly the same as you. It's not OK, clearly. I don't think...
We were nervous for a minute, though, weren't we?
That's the Aussie coming out in him.
I'm going to shake things up and get us taken off air.
But here's the thing. I think Boris knows it's not OK, and I'm pretty sure that's why he wrote it. You know, when Boris Johnson appeared on our show, OK, the last thing he did before the cameras rolled was look at himself in the monitor, the little TV here, he looked down and went, oh, and made sure his hair was perfectly messed up.
To be fair, I do that as well.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And I always take off my proper hands to put these funny...
My point is, this is a man who thinks very carefully about his image and who spent time crafting the words to go into that column. Now, he said he doesn't want to ban the burqa, which made him look liberal, but he called them letterboxes. So he's also appealing to a less tolerant reader. It's like saying to your wife, oh, I love that dress. Didn't realise they made it in extra large. Now, exactly, that's exactly my point. Now,
That's exactly what happened to you on Saturday night.
This morning, comedian Rowan Atkinson defended Boris in a letter to The Times and said it was a perfectly good joke. So don't worry, everyone, we're all fine. The white guy who lives in Oxford and drives a McLaren F1 told us that Muslim women shouldn't be offended. That's the end of the argument.
Do you know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to know what Mr Bean would say if he could talk.
Yeah.
And now I don't.
Look, I disagree with Rowan Atkinson for a whole bunch of reasons. Firstly, I don't think Boris was making a joke. I think he was just being a dick.
Yeah, if he'd have put, like, lol at the end of it. Maybe the little crying with laughter emoji. Still.
Secondly, a former chief superintendent said today that jokes like these from people like Boris do lead to hate crimes on the street. So it's not like there are no repercussions. And thirdly, yes, every religion should be open to ridicule, but you kind of got to be in the club. And the only way I can explain that is that Alex and I can make certain jokes about each other's disabilities because we're both technically disabled.
Well, more than technically, mate. I don't mean to break it to you.
OK,
I mean, if you go home tonight and you count your feet and the answer is less than 2...
Actually, that does
This
bring
is
up a point.
full-blown.
Because I reckon... Full-blown? I reckon there are jokes that you can make about me, but if I make the same jokes about you, they become a bit more cruel because of the different levels of disability. And then, again, yeah.
Oh, there's loads of jokes that I'm thinking of now that I tell you what, you could count the jokes on the fingers of one hand. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's up to us to make it OK. It's time to be positively rebellious and rebelliously positive. As long as we stand up for what we believe in, don't give in to anger or violence. Look out for the little guy. Keep an eye on the big guys. Refuse to keep our mouths shut. And just generally try not to be dicks.